to hit that number?
Yeah, I mean, these last two games, I think, are a really good indicator of what our team can look like. With Clay back and everybody healthy for the most part. In terms of our shooters, our floor spacers. Obviously, with Draymond out, it's a huge adjustment to make. But these last couple of games with the spacing that we've had and the ball movement, we've gotten great shots. And we're not going to make 21 for 36 most nights, but we did generate a lot of good ones. And then we had some lucky ones too, that kind of Jordan had a wild one and Steph had a couple wild ones. So we got to get better though. I feel like, we are right now wildly entertaining, and I just want to be entertaining. I don't want to be wildly entertaining. Right now we're too wild. We made, 7 to 10 insane plays that are going to get us beat in a big game against a good team. So we've got to get better.
You played Kuminga and Belly with Clay, Steph, and Jordan early in the second. What did you like with that group in particular?
Well, it's a good combination because you've got the playmaking of Belly and the athleticism of Kuminga, and then we've got shooting around those guys. And the last couple of games, we've gone to that. It's a nice offensive combination, especially. And, JK gives us a guy who can match up with really any position. We put him on Towns tonight, which was a great experience for him. Towns had an amazing game and got Loon in foul trouble. And we decided let's give JK the experience because he can guard, we think 1 through 5. But, right now we're just we're trying to bring him along, and he's done a nice job with that unit you mentioned.
Steve, Steph was sounding pretty determined to kind of shoot himself out of this, whatever you want to call, maybe a minor shooting slump. Do you feel like a game like this can just kind of get him right back to knocking him down from half court?
I haven't worried about Steph in the last month, and I have no idea what'll happen on Saturday. I just know that Steph Curry is one of the best players in the league, and he's going to make a whole bunch of 3-pointers the rest of the year, and he'll have some great games, and he'll have some games where he doesn't shoot as well. And in the meantime, he's going to impact the game in a dozen other ways. So I don't think about it much.
Steve, you guys made a halftime adjustment on Cat. What led to that?
Well, the fact that he torched us in the first half was what went into that. So we had no choice really. Looney with 4 fouls at half. In order to keep him on the floor, we needed to send a double, and we did a good job with it. They missed some open threes, so we got a little bit lucky with it too. But the third quarter defense was excellent. I thought that was the key point of the game.
Is that something you'll have to do against scoring centers with Draymond out?
Not often. I don't know that we've double teamed more than 3 or 4 players down on the block all year, and Towns just happens to be an all-star who is really a handful down there. But again, there aren't a lot of those guys in the league, so you have to be prepared for it, and we work on that stuff in practice. Mike Brown's done a great job preparing our team night in and night out defensively, and so we had worked on that this week in practice, and the guys executed it pretty well.
What are the keys from going from wildly entertaining just to simply entertaining?
It's just decision making. We had some really big turnovers down the stretch that were completely unnecessary. So we've got to figure out that we can still be entertaining and put on a good show without some of the bad decisions, the poor decisions with the ball. The ball is everything. You're up 10 with 2 minutes left. The only thing that matters is taking care of the ball, because as soon as you turn it over, you're in transition defensively and you're in trouble. And so it's all decision making, and we're just going to have to keep pounding that home, and our guys will respond. I have no doubt. They've won championships. They understand the value of every possession in a playoff game. But you know, there's a show going on out there too that they really enjoy, and I'm all for that as long as they make good decisions along with it.
Wiggins' numbers from the left corner are crazy this year. Is that something you guys noticed, have talked about? Is there a reason you think that he's just really good from there?
You know, he's pretty much his whole career he's operated from that corner. You know, Minnesota, when they had him, ran a ton of DHOs out of the corner so he could get downhill to his right hand. So we did the same thing as soon as we got him. I didn't know he was going to become this kind of three-point shooter. He just worked really, really hard to get to that point. But that's kind of his sweet spot on the floor. So, you know, we try to put him there as often as we can. Sometimes he just gravitates to that spot. But, yeah, I've seen the numbers. They are outrageous.
You just talk about the turnovers, no turnovers from Wiggins. I mean, how impressed have you been with his decision-making, the efficiency, and what do you think's kind of led to that?
Well, he's number one, he's just a really good player. You know, he does a lot of different things. He defends well. He's not a guy who has to dominate the ball. You know, he took 13 shots tonight for an all-star player. That's not a lot. So he's content with his role, and he understands the game. He understands the value of the ball, and he understands, I think, how to play with Steph. And now he's learning to play with Clay, and that's a big part of you know, playing for this team. It's a different experience with all the movement and the relocation and everything that Steph and Clay do, and Wiggs has handled that beautifully.
Yeah, there was actually even a time where it looked like Clay and Steph almost ran into each other in the paint there. They're both cutting.
Yeah.
Are they even kind of getting used to playing with each other again a little bit?
I think so. You know, 2.5 years is a long time, and the teammates around them have changed, and we're running some different stuff now compared to then. And I do think it'll take some time, but Clay, I thought he was great against Dallas the other night, and tonight he was even better. So he's adapting quickly, and I loved his drive and kicks. He made some excellent passes himself. So it's fun to see Clay and Steph back together, and it's really fun to see Wiggs playing with them. I think he complements them really well.